Hello everyone, welcome to the Owl to Remember tutorial. For this tutorial, you'll need your pencil and you will also need some pastels. To start off, I'm going to come down and up. I'm just going to do a scoop kind of a shape, and I'm using my whole page. I want the owl to just take up the whole page. I'm going to come down almost all the way to the bottom, and then I'm going to scoop it, and I can come back up here to meet it. So this is our owl body, head, body, everything. On the ends here, I'm going to do these little, I don't know what you would call that, almost like a teardrop shape, I guess, just to give it little ears. Then I'm going to come almost to the middle of my owl, and I'm going to do a rounded triangle. So what that means, I'll show you on the back here. A sharp triangle is when you do this. It's got pointy ends. But rounded is where you kind of turn on each corner. And that's what I want to do for my owl, is I want to round the corners. Then I'm going to come to the top here, and I'm going to swoop down to the top of my nose on each side. And then I'm going to kind of come like this and like this. So I've got two spots for my eyes, I've got a spot for my wings and my body. So then I'll give my owl some wings, curve my lines like that. And then in here, I want to do two big ovals, because owls, I just imagine them with really big eyes. I kind of came a little too high there. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to give it a little erase. And I don't like erasing too much. I'm not too concerned with everything being symmetrical and perfect, but if you are going to erase, it's nice to use a duller pencil, because then you're not going to be pressing as hard and making it as dark, and then it won't be as hard to erase. Now in here, I want to do some, they almost look like ocean lines. I'm going to curve my lines like this so that it looks like feather ruffles. And then the last detail that I want to add is I'm going to have him, so I'm going to do his feet like this, and then he's perched, or she is perched on a branch, and then you can put some little leaves on there. So it's a real close-up. I love this one for that. And take my pastel, I'm going to make sure I'm holding close to the bottom, and I'm going to outline all of my pencil marks. And come down. And around, and down, and down, come like this. And I'm not going to be too concerned if I don't get right on my pencil mark. The pastel works really well to hide that. And then this might be a little trickier, because this is a finer drawing on the bottom, a finer drawing point, but just do your best. And if your owl ends up with black toes, your owl ends up with black toes. That'll still be really cute if you find that the pastel's too thick there. Now the only part that I really want to color in with my pastel is going to be these eyes, so that they really stand out. Black is not my favorite to color with, and it's not, I love the color black because I use it almost in almost all of my artwork. But I like it as an outline because when you color in with it, it can kind of take over your picture. So you have to be careful where you use it. And it's not very forgiving. So like if you do something that you don't like, you can't really go over top of it. So I do like it for the eyes though. Even that just looks so good. Okay, so now I need to decide what I want to do for colors for my owl. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some blue and make the body blue. And you can see, and especially if you've done my videos before, you know that I really like when the black smudges in and gives it that textured look. Remember, this is an owl, so it'll have feathers, and they are not necessarily going to be super smooth. So I don't mind when I use this and get kind of smudged in like that. Now, if you like a clearer look, then crayons are probably a better option for you because they don't smudge as much. They do give a little bit of smudge, and with this one, because I want to keep the ruffle, I'm not coloring over it like this. I'm kind of coloring into it. So you'll color around and in. I'm just kind of making sure that you don't really have a whole bunch of white spots. A few little ones are actually not bad because it kind of, that again adds to the texture. Now this is going to be a really colorful owl. So this section is going to be blue. And then I'm going to choose another color for the wings. So I'll just get in here. It kind of reminds me of the ocean right on the owl's belly because I'm using blue. You can use any colors you want though, right? If you wanted green for this. And I think I'd like to use my light green in here. And so I'm just going to color all the way in, try and get a little bit of that black smudge in there. And you can even color over top of your black and it fills in any white spots that you might have. See, this is a little smoother now. So I can color in here. And there we go. That pops out really nice. And I think I'm also going to do the green up here and kind of pull it all together. But definitely this is a good one for those of you that like to color rainbow because you've got lots of opportunity in little spaces to have a clear picture but use lots of color. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this and come into here. Now, when you're looking at this, if yours looks like mine, you might be thinking, oh, I don't really like all that. Or in here, how it's kind of smudgy, but I don't have all my color on yet. So just give it a chance and just wait to see how it pans out. I can go over top if I've got a darker smudge. I can just go over top of that a bit and lighten it up, but you know me, I love all that texture. All right, so now I'm going to take my red and I'm going to come in around the eyes and up here. Kind of looks a bit like a Christmassy owl with the red and green. And I'm going to come down here. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause me and catch up. But basically we're just coloring together. So you can color at your own pace, and maybe the video ends and you've still got some stuff to do. That's okay. This is just sort of getting you started and then coloring along with you. All right, so I'm gonna come down in there and up here. And down here. And around the corner. Here we go. And up here. And around. Okay, so then I think I'm going to take my blue just to add a bit more blue. I'm going to put that in the very top, and then I want to take my orange. Mine's broken because I kind of snapped it. Pastels are really soft, so that's something that happens all the time. The way that you can prevent it a bit better, but it still happens, is if you hold close to the bottom. And then when it snaps, you're forced to hold close to the bottom because you only have the bottom. I'm gonna make my tree branch down here and color all this in. And tree branches with the pastel are so awesome because bark has a lot of texture, and so when we're coloring and we get that black, I like to get that black right in there because it gives it sort of that barky look, tree bark. So I'm gonna come right in here. And I love how this picture is just so vibrant with color. It just really stands out. This is an awesome project to also do if you're making someone a birthday card. This is such a nice picture to put on the front, and you can use whatever you want, like crayons, markers, pencil crayons. This picture is good for all of it. All right, so I have my owl, and now I just need to do the background. Now, some of you, if you want to, you could use your watercolors and then just sort of paint if you're tired of coloring, but I wanted to make an all pastel picture option. So now I'm just gonna come along and put my blue sky back here, and be careful around the edges here because I still want that little pop of blue, even though it's tiny. I want it to stand out. And go like this. And around like this. Okay. Coming all the way down, and you can see that I'm kind of, one thing that I like to do is, I'm going to show you this because I don't know, it's okay to do different directions, but it looks a little more smooth when you go in one direction. But I know like turning your page helps and your hand gets tired, and then we start coloring into our picture. But one thing I like to do is go like this all the way around where I'm trying to be careful, then go right around here and get into all of those spots, all the careful points so we don't go over top of our beautiful picture. And these ones are just tiny spots anyway, but do them first before your hand gets super tired and you're tired of being careful. And then you can come all the way around here. And this is why our helper hand is so important too. Did you see how I have to move my fingers to help me keep my page straight? So I'm gonna come all the way. It's kind of like outlining, but I'm gonna go all the way around. And then I don't have to be as careful because I've already created that barrier. So now I can, or like a little fence. So now I can color right up to my fence and it's not going to go into my picture as easily. And then I can keep my direction. And you can see I'm getting on the table, so you might want to put a piece of paper around underneath. I use my helper hand just to get into those spots and help my paper not move. And I can even just move my hand down while I do that. And go across. And then there you go. Oh my gosh, I love this picture so much. If you're doing these, I would love to see them. So get your parents to message me or share with me. But ooh, look at that owl. That is so pretty. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and I cannot wait to see your calendar pages or your birthday cards or whatever you're using this for. See you next time.